Imagine waking up to the sound of jackhammers devouring your backyard, only to discover your HOA president has borrowed 15 feet of your property for her dream garage, because, apparently, her aesthetic trumps your deed. That's the nightmare that hit me. Jack Thompson, a retired journalist who'd seen enough scandals to know when one was brewing right next door. But oh, how the tables turned when this self-crowned queen of suburbia found out that her community spirit was just a fancy wrapper for outright theft. The first time I crossed paths with Marjorie Klein, she gripped my hand like a vice at the neighborhood welcome barbecue, flashing a smile so polished it could have blinded satellites. "Jack, darling," she cooed in that syrupy tone reserved for HOA royalty. "We're all about harmony here in Willow Creek Estates. Good fences make good neighbors, but good rules make perfect ones." Fast forward a year, and her idea of harmony involved her crew of hardhats turning my prized rose bushes into mulch under a slab of concrete that sprawled like an unwelcome guest crashing a party, right onto my turf. Let me paint the picture for you. I'm Jack Thompson, or just Jack to anyone who doesn't know me a byline. Spent 40 years chasing stories in the newsroom, from corrupt politicians to corporate crooks, always with a notepad in one hand and a healthy dose of skepticism in the other. When my old lady passed from that damn cancer, the city buzz felt like salt in the wound, so I cashed out and snagged a cozy ranch style in Willow Creek, an HOA-governed slice of American dream where the streets were straight as arrows and the drama was supposed to be zero. Or so the brochure promised. I craved the quiet, sipping black coffee on the porch, tending my vegetable patch, maybe scribbling a memoir about the scoops that got away. For those initial months, it was bliss. Lawns clipped to military precision. No stray weeds daring to rebel. Everything ticking like a Swiss watch under Marjorie's iron fist. Marjorie wasn't merely the HOA president. She was the HOA incarnate, a late 60s dynamo in tailored pantsuits, her bob haircut defying gravity like it had its own bylaws. She'd glide through the cul-de-sacs in her golf cart, clipboard at the ready, dispensing friendly reminders with the grace of a traffic cop writing tickets at a funeral. Her smile, a masterpiece of suburban warfare, wide enough to disarm, sharp enough to slice. At meetings, she'd bang that gavel like she was judging the apocalypse, quoting covenants chapter and verse. Section 4, Paragraph B. No visible laundry lines. Folks, keeps our values soaring. Folks ate it up, seeing her as the sentinel against declining property prices, the mama bear guarding our manicured Eden. Me, I'd interviewed enough power-hungry types to spot the cracks. That flicker in her eye when someone suggested easing up on the paint color restrictions? Pure steel wrapped in pearls. But hey, I played ball, paid dues early, mowed on schedule. Her petty empire didn't touch my plot, so why rock the boat until the boat rammed straight into my dock? It kicked off with the rumble, a cement mixer groaning like a hungover giant, saws whining like banshees, hammers thumping a war drum. Right from her lot, hugging our shared fence that I'd reinforced myself with those thorny hawthorns to keep deer out. First, I shrugged it off. Renovations happen, right? Cranked up my jazz playlist and buried my nose in a thriller. But days dragged into weeks, the cacophony scaling up like a bad symphony. One crisp Saturday, mug in hand, I ambled out back for a peek. And bam! My gut twisted like I'd swallowed a lemon whole. This wasn't some deck add-on. It was a behemoth. A concrete pad the size of a small airstrip, framing going up like a skeleton rising from the grave. But the kicker? That gray monstrosity didn't stop at the line. It bulldozed right over, engulfing my hawthorns like they were appetizers. My journalist's brain kicked in, overlaying the mental grid of my survey, every inch etched in memory from closing day. This encroachment, no oopsie, full-on territorial conquest. Back indoors, hands steady as a surgeon's, or so I told myself. I dug out the deed from my fireproof safe. The notarized plat map unrolled like a treasure chart, boundaries bold as brass. Grabbed my tape measure, old habits from fact-checking Die Hard, and marched out, pulse thumping but mind clear. Hooked the tape to the rusty survey marker, reeled it out straight as truth. Where her slab edge mocked me, 15 feet. 15 goddamn feet of my soil, my taxes, my sanctuary, now entombed in her ambition. I stood there, tape drooping like a defeated flag, the construction din fading to white noise. This wasn't error, this was edict. Marjorie had decreed her palace expansion, and my yard was collateral damage. Temper? Nah. I'd learned from deadlines that rage clouds judgment. Methodical was my mantra. Buttoned a fresh shirt, map rolled like a scroll of justice, and strode over. The foreman, a beefy guy with a neck like a tree trunk, eyed me warily, but I breezed past. My beef was with the boss lady. There she lounged on her deck, lemonade in a crystal tumbler, surveying her domain with queenly poise. Spotting me, that smile snapped on like a light switch. "Jack, what a delight on this fine morning. Care for a refreshment?" "Marjorie," I replied, voice level as a news anchor. "We've got an issue." Unfurled the map on her wicker table, finger jabbing the line. "Your foundation's over by 15 feet. Onto my property." She didn't blink at the paper, just sipped slow, eyes dancing with mock innocence. "Oh, Jack, always the stickler for details. It's merely a tweak for flow. Makes the whole block pop. Don't you agree? A tweak? That's my land. Per this legal doc. Not up for HOA vote." She nudged the map aside like junk mail. "Paper's so inflexible." The board concurred. The old boundary was just awkward, clashing with our vibe. "For the greater good. You know, you should be thrilled," boosts everyone's curb appeal. Thrilled? Like a turkey at Thanksgiving. I'm not thrilled. Halt the build. Remove the slab. Her facade cracked. Smile vanishing into ice. "That's not in the cards, dear." Proved. Poured. Final. Go ponder community spirit at home. I retreated, brain buzzing. She'd owned it, spun it, challenged me. Game on. Next dawn, I drafted the complaint like a front-page exposé. Laws violated, map attached, her quotes verbatim. Certified mail to the board, cease and desist. Respond in 10 days. 7 days later, their reply slithered in creamy stationery. Curt dismissal. Grievance baseless. Bylaw 7. Subsection D. Minor realignments for aesthetic harmony permitted. Signed by all. Marjorie's flourish front and center. A fortress of fine print. Then the siege started. Subtle at first, a notice with a snapshot of my recycling bin out at 6:58 a.m. for 7 a.m. collection. Infraction. $20 fine. Precision matters. Next week, my sprinkler head not aligned perpendicularly. $40. Then my bird feeder, deemed avian attractant exceeding decibel limits. $75. Absurd? You bet. But relentless, like water torture with paperwork. I felt eyes everywhere, paranoia creeping like ivy. designed to grind me down, force a white flag or for sale sign. The rot spread socially. My chatty neighbor, Ted, who'd swap fishing tails over the fence, now dodged glances, mumbled excuses. Saw him with Marjorie, her hand on his shoulder, that smile working overtime. She was rewriting my narrative. The grumpy scribe stirring trouble, threatening our utopia. Isolation hit hard. I was the neighborhood leper. One twilight, fines piled like bad reviews, over $250. I stared at her half-built garage hulking like a bad omen. Reason had failed. Their game was rigged. Time for outside rules. No random attorney. I researched like prepping a Pulitzer bid. Sought HOA slayers. Landed on Lena Vasquez. Her digs, cozy loft above a coffee shop. All sleek lines and no-nonsense vibe. Lena, mid-30s, sharp as a tack, gripped my hand firm. Jack, spill the tea on this HOA headache. I laid it bare. Maps, deeds, rejection letter, fine stack. She poured over, poker-faced. Classic land heist and bully tactics. Seen it. Drain you till you fold. So, sue for the boundary. Her grin was a shark's. That's their trap. Drag it out. Bleed you dry. Not. We flipped the script. Not defense. Offense. This reeks of systemic scum. We petitioned for discovery. 5 years' worth. Minutes. Finances. Contracts. Emails. They're hiding skeletons, she quipped. Let's exhume 'em. Courier dropped the bomb. Their panic was palpable. Calls flew, but we dug in. First gem, HOA checks to Klein Brothers. Landscaping, hundreds of thousands. Owner, Marjorie's cousin. Per public records and a family reunion pic on Facebook. Bingo, Lena smirked. Family funneling. No bids. Textbook graft. Cross-checks revealed her pushing essential upgrades. Sole sourcing to kin. More. 2 prior adjustments favoring board pals. Victims harassed out. Selling cheap. I phoned one. An ex-nurse in Florida. They nitpicked us to death. Fines for breathing wrong. We fled. Same script. But the nukes? Lena's 2 a.m. find. Email from Marjorie to VP Carl. Thompson's whining stalls my extension. Ramp up violations. Be inventive. Mailbox tilt. Porch light hue. Make him miserable till he quits or lists. Dissent disrupts harmony. Black and white conspiracy. Not about space, I muttered. Power play. Lena nodded. And we're torching her throne. Build up to the annual bash felt electric. Air thick with unspoken thunder. Last fine. My doormat, not symmetrically centered. Tossed it on our dossier pile. Lena's strategy? No quiet suit. Public shaming at the meeting. Her turf. Clubhouse buzzed with forced cheer. Cheap Joe. And sidelong glares my way. I sat rear. Lena briefcase ready. Marjorie presided in pearl gray, beaming like a benevolent dictator. Carl her sweaty yes-man. Agenda trudged. Budgets. Mulch debates. Then open floor. Her eyes locked mine. Voice honeyed venom. Jack. Are your gripes? Transparency's our creed. Trap set. I stayed put. Lena rose. Thanks, President Klein. Lena Vasquez. Counsel for Mr. Thompson. We'd love to present. Room froze. Counsel hit like a grenade. Marjorie's grin twitched. Lena set up projector. Beaming docs on the wall. Start with the grab. 15 feet stolen. Slides. Map versus. Drone shot. But wait, your dues funded Klein Brothers. To the tune of $350,000. No bids. Family ties. Gasps rippled. Carl paled. Invoices. Ghost projects flashed. Victim affidavits. Harassed till broken. Room simmered. Marjorie snarled. Slander from a malcontent. Lena soft. Really? Final slide, her email. Giant. Make him miserable. Dissent disrupts. Pin drop hush. Ted stood. Marjorie, you wrote this. She stammered. Carl bolted up. Her scheme. She bullied us. Chaos erupted, shouts. Accusations. Bored cowered. Marjorie sat statue stiff. Empire evaporating under the glow. Lena packed up. I exhaled freedom. Fallout? Suit filed. They folded fast. Resignations. Restitution. HOA insurance covered my costs. Damages flowed. Garage raised at her dime. DA probed fraud. Charges loomed. Her mansion? For sale, ghosts and all. Demolition day? Neighbors showed with tools. Apologies. We demolished DIY. Laughs amid swings. Tearing hubris timber by timber. Scarred spot. Community garden now. Bench inscribed harmony through respect. Willow Creek breathed anew. Open board. Sane rules. They tapped me for oversight. I took it. Motto, sense over strictness. Mornings? Peaceful porch. Coffee steaming. Yard hole. Marjorie? A fable of petty tyrants toppled. Power corrupts small scale too. Silence enables it. True community, fair lines, bold stands. But tell me, was I the villain for fighting back? Or was she for thinking rules were her playthings? Drop your take below, right or wrong.